Welcome back to our garden series where we build the garden of our dreams. Last time we filled up our corrugated steel beds with the lasagna method, and now we're building our large bed. We started off by cutting the sides down to size and making some spikes to hold this large bed in place. Exhibit A. We decided to use cedar because it's super durable. We first attempted to build it in place by nailing the spikes into the ground, but we had a really hard time getting the spikes to be plumb and level. So long story short, we pretty much just decided to abandon this method altogether right from the start because the struggle was real, my friends. So we decided to move this party to the garage, which actually ended up being much easier. Basically, we just built the whole thing upside down. We laid the planks on their sides and then screwed the spikes in upside down so that they would be nice and flat. This just made the whole process go so much faster and it was way easier. The more difficult part was actually getting it out of the garage. This ended up being really tricky because we had to move a lot of stuff out of the way and I was super nervous that the whole thing was going to break, but it was fine. Look, see? Perfect. Then we just had to dig some holes for the spikes and stick them in there. Luckily, we had a bunch of leftover cardboard from when we moved, so we just used this to fill in the bottom as a nice weed barrier. This trick works really, really well, and it's a lot more eco-friendly than weed tarp. I used the hose to wet down the cardboard and keep it all in place. We didn't have a ton of leftover fill, so we just have some twigs and stuff. Not a ton of lasagna going on, but we did have a lot of leftover dirt, so that kind of worked out. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you sit there while I tediously count how many wheelbarrows it took to fill this beast, but just trust me, it was a lot. Once we got rid of the mountain of dirt on our driveway, I hosed this baby down, and she was looking fine, my friends. This in-ground bed is about 10 feet by 15 feet, which is pretty big, so I decided to make a little pathway. I used a rubber mallet to break up some limestone pavers that we just had lying around, and I think this is going to work really well. First, I measured where the center of the bed was going to be and then just got to work laying out a pattern. I didn't really have a plan, I just kind of winged it. But hey, it worked out. I mean, look at her. She's beautiful. Now, I knew that this was going to be a long shot because it was late in the season and I didn't really know if anything would sprout, but I attempted to plant some corn and some squash in this bed. Gotta make some little raised up mounds for the corn. Use a little measuring tape to space them out. Get the little squash in the corner and water the whole thing down. And then I just topped it off with some straw to keep the moisture even. So yeah, we'll just see if anything sprouts, I guess. Like always, my friends, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for part 6 and follow along for more home DIY.